What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean P. the Bluff God. Hey! And we are back with another chapter discussion stream. Oh, my favorite days of the week. I will tell you that. I love every time we have these chapters. I love talking about them. I love the chapter discussion streams the most, right? I mean, I love my reaction streams and everything. You know that they definitely give me something to talk about throughout the week. But I live for these chapter discussion streams. Uh, but yeah, so we're gonna get into chapter 1041. Chapter 1041, Komurasaki. Just to make sure I say that right. Komurasaki. That's the name of the chapter. But before we get into that, first let me tell you guys, make sure you show your boy some love and hit that like button if you haven't already. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you know when I go live. So you're notified. As well as follow me on Instagram, on my Twitter, and on my Facebook page, especially if you want to know, when I go live in advance, right? Instead of getting notified. When I go live in advance. As well, if you're looking for a One Piece community to be a part of, we have the One Piece Discord and we have the One Piece Facebook group. All of these will be in the description box. So yeah, make sure y'all go check the description box out. That's where you're going to get all the pertinent information from me. All right, man. I see you guys chatting it up in the chat. So let me join y'all real quick before we get into that. Before we get into this chapter, we got Pee Wee in the building. He said, "How's it going?" Hey, man, I'm good, man. I'm like I said, I'm excited to talk about this chapter. Anytime we get a chapter, it's always good to have something. It's like that. It's like theories and stuff is when we get to discuss our ideas of previous things that happened in the story, right? But when we get a new chapter, we're getting something new. We're getting fresh story plot, right? So it's always it's the time of the week I wait for the most is getting that fresh story, right? Then we got Desness in the house. He said he's hype. Yeah, bro, we hype. We hyping this. I'm hype as well, man. I can't wait to talk about it. He also said, hey, yeah, man, what's going on, Desness? What's going on? We got Desness and Pee Wee in the building. Desness says, "What the dog's doing?" He loves saying that's his that's his tagline right there. What the dog's doing. You should put that on the shirt. What the dog's doing. And then we got Cube in the building. He said, "Yo, what's goody, Cube? What's goody?" And he said the Bluff Nakamas are here. Now this is the Bluff squad. I'm the Bluff squad. It's the Bluff squad. It's the squad, right? It's the squad, the Bluff squad. Yeah, man. Hey, man, y'all could just call me Sean P. Y'all could call me the Bluff squad if y'all want. That's what it is. Or y'all could just call me Sean P. Whatever. I know that might be a little easier for y'all, And then Desmond says, "Lol." Guess you laughing at the Bluff Nakamas, right? But yeah, so okay, so we're getting into let's get into this chapter though. Let's get into this chapter. Good bit of stuff happened in this chapter. Good bit of stuff. So yeah, let's talk about it. So let's get into chapter 1041, Komurasaki. All right, just make sure that's the correct name of the chapter, Komurasaki. All right, so we got the cover page, right? And in the cover page, of course, this is the whole Germa 6-6 cover story, right? This is right now we're following Yonji and Niji, right? They're still trapped in Amontdore's book, and Puddin is pretty much punching both of them for all the bullying they did to Sanji. That's pretty much what it says. It says, an emotionless excursion, Volume 5, this is what you get for bullying Sanji, their pudding punch. Now let's talk about the cover story just a little bit before. All right, you know what? We're gonna talk about the cover story at the end. We're gonna talk about it when we do really dive and dissect this chapter, right? So yeah, that's what we get. That's pretty much the cover page. We get Puddin punching Yonji and Niji, kind of like for, I guess, getting revenge for how they treated Sanji when they were young, right? Okay, so we pretty much start this chapter. We see Zoe, right? And Momonosuke is pretty much talking with Yamato. He's talking about how he was able to talk to Zunisha. And told Zunisha pretty much to, Zunisha told Momonosuke, look, I'm waiting for your orders, right? And Yamato, or Momonosuke, is telling Yamato about how he pretty much was only able to talk to Zunisha for a split second, and how he gave Zunisha an order to pretty much join the fight, right? Or Zunisha is pretty much telling Momonosuke, like, hey, I'm here. I've come to join the fight, right? So we don't really know the exact order Zunisha or Momonosuke gave to Zunisha, but we know that, like, right now, Zunisha's in Wano and pretty much is here to fight, right? Here, came for the fight, right? And so I'm assuming that the order that Momonosuke gave to Zunisha was to join the fight. So, Yamato was pretty ecstatic, pretty impressed by this, right? And she pretty much tells Yamato, like, hey, that's incredible, right? You're actually able to talk to the elephant. And I'm assuming, Yamato knows about Zunisha from Oden's journal. And Momonosuke pretty much is telling Yamato, like, look, I get why my importance, right? I'm important because I gotta open up these borders, But then Momonosuke also says, he's not sure, like he first he said, like Oden wasn't a prophet, right? So he's pretty much using this as a foundation to say, look, I don't even know if that's the right move. Like, my dad wasn't no prophet. I don't know if that's the right move. I'm scared to open up the borders, and I get why he would be scared, because it's kind of like, hey, Kaido already invaded in Wano, so opening up the borders would probably leave it open for other strong individuals to come to Wano and do what Kaido's done. So, he's talking about how he's scared of opening the borders. And, is it because he's a coward? This is pretty much what he's asking. Is it because he's a coward? Because he's at the end of the day, it makes sense though. I get why he would be scared to open up these borders. So we pretty much wrapped up with the fight between Raizo and Fukurokuju. If you want to really call it a fight, it was more kind of a let's sit and wait and see who gives up first. Kind of like a game of chicken, right? That Raizo and Fukurokuju was playing. Because it was pretty much like, hey, we pretty much got each other kind of in... it's kind of like Shikimaru's jutsu in Naruto, right? How he's able to pretty much hold somebody with, using their shadow. But in this instance, they're kind of using some ninjutsu that could pretty much hold each other in place while the room around them is burning. And Rizo, pretty much is the winner. He was the one that's able to hold out despite him being on fire himself. He was still able to hold out way longer than Fukurokuju. And then Jinbei shows up, pretty much kind of him making the save to Rizo. And he comes kind of at the end. He comes at the end of the scene, right? So yeah, but I find the scene funny because we got Rizo. He's on fire. He's burning up. He said, "Ouch, ouch! It's so not hot." He's trying to act like it's not hot. He says, "Hot. He's hot. It's not hot at all." And then Jinbei shows up, and he said, "You there, samurai? Why aren't you running?" This is what Jinbei's asking Rizo. He said, You're with Sir Luffy. Huff, huff. Must hurry. How careless of me. The preparations were already complete. I'm kind of wondering what preparations he was talking about. Was it like during that fight or what? Because it kind of sounds like he's talking about something else, right? And then we cut to the treasure repository second floor where we get I don't know why I'm forgetting his name. We get Orochi, right? Orochi and he or Komurasaki, but we know it's Hiyori. And Orochi is just kind of going crazy. He's wondering where Fukurokuju is, who just pretty much been defeated. That's where he is. And he's trying to get out of this burning place, right? But he starts getting frustrated because Komurasaki is still playing her music, right? And he's saying, "Hey, why would you play at a time like this?" And he's yelling at her like, "Hey, look, stop! Put the instrument down." With your pretentious mask. You always wear that stupid mask when you play. This is a moment of life and death. Take it off already. Are you really Komurasaki or a ghost? You were surprised to be dead. Or you were supposed to be dead. That's what he said. This is what he's doing, kind of badgering her while she's playing her music as everything is on fire around both of them, right? But it makes sense. I get why he would be all in the uproar about that. Like, why are you playing your shamisen while this room is burning up? It doesn't make much sense, right? And then he looks up and the ceiling collapsed onto him and falls onto him, and he's pretty much trapped. He's pretty much trapped under this rubble. And, Komurasaki, she's still playing her shamisen. And now he's pissed because he's like, hey, pay attention. Are you paying attention? Come help me. Why are you still playing? I need help. And as he yells at her, she says, she pretty much says, while he's yelling at her, he asks, like, hey, why can't I transform? Right? And she says, I use nails of sea prism stone to ensure you could not turn into that monster. And so I don't know when she was using these nails, but somehow while he didn't notice, she was pretty much, putting these nails in him, and I don't know if she is part of why the ceiling dropped on him. Like if that was all part of her plan, maybe he already has some devil fruit that we don't know of, but it almost seemed like all this is part of her plan, and while he's trapped under there, he says, he asks her, he's like, what are you talking about? Why? I thought you loved me. And she says, love you? you jest, like you joke. I have no affection of you whatsoever. He said, or she says, strangely enough, that song that you love, that Moon Princess song that you love, was also a favorite of my father's, Odin Kozuki. And that's when things set in with Orochi. That's what like that panel, his eyes and how it's like real dark, and you see his eyes like he's shot. It's like everything's setting in to him, and he's finally realizing, right? How could it possibly put a smile on my face? So yeah, so now Orochi pretty much knows what's going on, and Komurasaki is not Komurasaki, right? Let me read some of these chat from you guys before I continue, or before I wrap up this recap, right? Q said, "I love that scene," and I think you said that during the Yamato and Momonosuke scene, right? That's what I think you said, showing that Momonosuke is still a child but still quite mature. Yeah, it was definitely a great scene for when we talk about the chapter more, I'm gonna definitely explain why I felt as though that was a very good scene, right? A very good character developing scene for Momonosuke, because I thought it was another key moment for him, right? But I also did like the Hiyori. I thought this chapter was great for two reasons. It really showcased the two siblings, right? Momonosuke and Hiyori. But we'll talk about that later. And Desna says, "Did you saw my theory? It matches the Momo statement." I haven't seen your theory, bro. I have a lot of stuff going on. You guys be said to be so. You guys send me, y'all send me a lot of stuff. It's hard to get to it, So I'll get to it when I can, if I can, But I'll check it out, Pee Wee said, "Love that scene as well." I don't know if you're talking about the Hiyori scene or the Momonosuke scene, but both great scenes though. I think both great scenes, and then I think you might be talking about the Momonosuke scene though. And then Cube said, "Not yet, will do." Yeah, we'll definitely get to it. And then Desmond says, "Okay." Yeah, man. I mean, look, I'll be having I got another side job that I do, and I'm also planning other stuff, and trying to have a life as well. So it'd be hard to get to all y'all stuff sometimes. So I know y'all, I know y'all want me to check stuff out, and I try to get to it, but especially as this channel grows, it's going to be tougher, man. As this channel grows, it's going to be tougher to get to some of the stuff you guys might want me to check out. It might get to a point where I can't check it out, or like freely check out stuff y'all send my way. I might have to have a different type of process of how I of how I screen the type of stuff I check out. You know what I'm saying? But that's a little for later, right? That's a little for later. He said no problem. And then we got Stan in the building. Shout out to Stan. He says, yo, what y'all talking about? We talking about chapter 1041, fool. Nah, I'm playing. I ain't want to call you a fool. I'm just joking. But nah, we talking about the recent chapter. This is the chapter discussion stream. So let's get back into it. Let's get back to the chapter. We're gonna wrap up this recap, and then let's actually dissect key moments of the chapter, right? And what I did like this chapter because it does kind of make it a lot easier to talk about like each moment, right? Like each moment it came in sections perfectly. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes Odin just be all over, or not Odin, but Oda be all over the place with a chapter, right? Like you go here, then here, then here, then here, then back here, and then it's like all over the place. But the structure of this chapter was a lot easier to follow, very, very basic, very simple, right? So yeah, we just pretty much wrapped up with Komurasaki and Arochi. That scene. So we cut to the castle basement with Izo and CP0. And we get a scene where we get Izo pretty much shooting the one CP0 agent, and that same CP0 agent pretty much finger poking like a finger pistol to Izo, right? And they pretty much do this at the same time. We see Izo pretty much think in his head telling Okiku, his sister or his brother, sister, whichever one you want to call, to survive. And then it looks to be that they're both pretty much down and out, if not dead. Like they kind of based off what the surviving CP0 agent said. He said, "No, damn you, Izo. You were determined to take us down with you then." So Izo pretty much was on a suicidal mission in this fight just to pretty much get CP0 out the way, and he succeeded at least taking one of them down with him, right? And that same CP0 agent who seems kind of to be the de facto leader of this specific crew of CP0 agents, he gets a call. We never really see who the call is from, but I'm assuming it might be from Rob Lucci, because Rob Lucci seemed like he's having constant communication with CP0, and they pretty much tell whoever's on the other end of the phone, or the Den Bushi, is telling the CP0 agent that we still have no idea of his name, that the new order is to pretty much kill Straw Hat Luffy, and that came straight from the Gorosei themselves. Oh, dun, 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 dun. You gotta have that like piano, that dramatic piano playing. But, he pretty much says, hey, as the CP0 agent is talking to himself, he said, "Why is the leftover from Whitebeard's crew helping these kids out? I need to hurry and get Nicole Robin." And then he gets the call, and then he says, "What is it? It's just one thing after another here." And then on the other phone, they say, "Listen closely. The 5 elders have issued an edict. I guess it's a change of mission, I guess. Kind of like an audible. I think that's what that would mean, unless it just mean like orders or something." And then he questions like the 5 elders, right? And then it says, "Eliminate Straw Hat Luffy at once." And what he asked, like, "Hey, like they want me to interfere in the fight between Kaido." Like they want me to interfere in Kaido's fight? Like that'd be impossible, right? And they said they know full well it's impossible. It's a world-class battle, which is why it's so dangerous. These orders are meant to prevent the worst-case scenario. You understand? And we also see a scene of with I kind of missed this before, but we see X Drake, right? And he's pretty much saying like he can't die, so he's not going down. But question is, what's next for Drake, right? What's next for Drake? And he said, though it's a scenario we only know through rumor and hearsay. What scenario? Okay, well, see, now this is starting to have me thinking about something like from earlier, right? That now I might have to start changing some of my initial speculations from a couple chapters ago, right? But we'll talk about that some more, guys. We'll talk about that some more. Let me try to wrap this up though. Let me wrap this up. And but okay, so next we go over and we see Usopp pretty much riding Hamlet, and they're pretty much carrying Okiku and Kinemon, right? And we see, we get a short shot of Nekomamushi, Puddin, or not Puddin, Carrot and Wanda. And then we also see Frankie pretty much holding on to Zoro, who looks like he was, if nobody came to save him, he was probably going to die because he was going to fall off of Onigashima and fall to his death. But Frankie seemed like he pretty much made the save, and he's calling out to Zoro, asking him, is he dead yet? But, Zoro is right on death's door from what we know, what it seems, But Frankie is, keeping Zoro in the game. Because if Zoro did fall, he would have probably been the first Straw Hat to officially die. That's not included the Sunny ship, right? But we know Zoro ain't gonna die. We know Zoro can't just be dying, right? So we see Zoro, we see Nami, talking to Prometheus, who's pretty much kind of sad for what happened to Big Mom. So Nami probably a little jealous, and she's asking Prometheus or Zeus, not Prometheus. She's asking Zeus like, hey, who's more important, her or Big Mom, right? And we see Camacho, who's passed out, and we got Marco, who's still active. He's helping Camacho, and Otama. We cut to where Kid and Law is, and Kid pretty much asks Law like, "Hey man, you think you still got more? You think you still got enough in the tank for Kaido?" And Law's pretty much confirmed like, "Look man, I'm out of it, man. Like if Kaido comes out of that fight, the victor, bruh, I got nothing for him, So Law pretty much said he's out of gas, and so so if Law comes back and fights some more, I know a lot of people are going to be, kind of upset about that. They're going to be like, look, man, Law was just talking about how he's out of gas. What? As far as Kid never really says anything about being out of the game. So maybe Kid might have a little bit more in the tank, but I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. And then we cut back to the fight of with Kaido and Luffy. Kaido pretty much, senses, like he's able to sense that Big Mom was defeated, right? And so he start actually thinking back to when he was 15 years old, because we finally got an age for Kaido when he was on the Rock's crew as the cabin boy, So we get kind of a dialogue between them, but it's more so from Big Mom, right? We don't really hear Kaido. Like Kaido doesn't really talk, but it says, "You got a mouth on you, kid. Hello, can you speak? Mama, ha ha ha. How old are you?" And then she says, "Only 15. You're so young. Is this your first time teaming up with Rocks? Don't trust him. He's a scoundrel. You have any trouble, just tell me. I'm Linlin, and I'm gonna be the king of the sea. Put her there." So we get a little more context to the whole Rocks crew situation, right? Just a little, right? At least as far as the dynamics and the relationship dynamics of Big Mom and Kaido, So Kaido just pretty much starts bawling out, crying, right? It's even the older boxers say tears in his beer, right? Even though I don't think he necessarily has beer on him right now. And then he said, and just after we swore an oath to claim the One Piece together, this is Kaido crying. And It's funny to see Kaido crying about something like this. Then we see like a Gear 4 Snake Man Luffy, like kind of the silhouette, right? A dark silhouette. So we don't really. I mean, it's obvious that it's Gear like Snake Man, but you know, it seemed like Oda was kind of trying to hide the reveal a little bit. But then we cut to the next page and we see Kaido get punched in the face, and we officially see the Gear 4 Snake Man Luffy, right? And he's pretty much going all out, just hitting Kaido with a barrage of punches. And Luffy says, "Your ambitions mean nothing to me, especially if it leaves the people here with no food to eat. This is my final Gear 4. I'm not stopping until I've completely run out of strength. Where are these punches coming from?" As you know, Kaido thinking as he gets punched in the face. Then he says, "I'm going to drive you," or Luffy says, "I'm going to drive you out of Wano if it's the last thing I do." And it looks like we do not have a break. Let me check the Shonen app just to make sure. Okay, it don't look like we got a break. Don't look like we got a break, so you know, I'm gonna take it as we have no break. So let me read these chats before we go into actually talking about things. See what you guys are talking about. Let me pull this back up real quick. All right. All right, so Pee Wee says, "I really enjoyed this chapter." Yeah, great chapter. Definitely great chapter. You know, I've really been enjoying it. It's probably been a few chapters of Wano that been kind of mad for me. You know, especially since Onigashima. It's been a lot of great chapters. You know, in my opinion. You know, I mean, with the exception of maybe a few, like a small handful, right? And Desmond says the chapter was fire. Yeah, great, definitely great chapter. Then Pee Wee says, so happy there's no break next week. Yeah, I didn't see any break. I didn't see the break in the Shonen Jump app, so I'm taking it as no break. I'm definitely take that as there isn't a break, which I'm excited for as well. And then Desmond said, "Yeah, the times are exciting." Yeah, bro. Like not even just in One Piece. There's been a lot of great anime out, right? You know, like I know I gotta watch the latest season of Demon Slayer and also the latest season of Attack on Titan because I know they're definitely getting a lot of hype, and you know, I got so much stuff to catch up on. That's kind of why uh it's hard for me to get to everything you guys want me to get to because you know I gotta find like stuff to react to, and then you know um gotta plan these streams out, and then also gotta catch up on other anime that I'm trying to watch and all that stuff, and then there's other personal life type stuff. uh you know, it's not enough time in the day sometimes, y'all. It's not enough time in the day. um Pee Wee said, "Did anyone see the latest episode?" I'm gonna watch that probably after the stream. I'm gonna watch the latest episode after the stream. But I haven't just yet. Um, and then Desmond says, "Nope, but feel free to spoil me." Yeah, I don't care if y'all spoil me. You know, we pretty when it comes to the anime, we pretty much know what's gonna happen. Like everybody who follows the chapter, so it's whatever. You know. And then Pee Wee said, "There's a scene where I'm a bit confused, could be wrong, but looks like Jinbei could have conquerors. I'm probably wrong, though. Could be how they just animated." Yeah, I don't know. Like I had to see that scene and get what you. But it wouldn't shock me if Jinbei does have conquerors hockey. I mean, the man has been a well known. Well, that doesn't mean everybody's gonna get conquerors, but I wouldn't be shocked if Jinbei had it, but you know, maybe he does. You know, until it's confirmed. I'm gonna just take it like he doesn't have it, I guess. Because maybe we would have seen it by now. Desmond says it's headcanon for me that Zebek got his crew through Davy back fight. Well, Desness, you're not the only person who believes that, because Cube also has been saying that for a while about why Whitebeard and Big Mom were part of Zebek's crew. So you're definitely not alone in that theory. I will say that. You're definitely not alone in that. So yeah, you and Cube might want to talk, man. Y'all might want to talk about that theory, because y'all two are definitely big believers in the whole Zebek gaining a crew through the Davy back fight. You know. And Desmond says it's so obvious, the island, the mixed crew, they don't trust him. He seems rude. I mean, that's pretty logical though, right? Because for me, it wouldn't really make sense for somebody like not Blackbeard, for somebody like Whitebeard to be a part of a crew like the Rock's Pirates, unless he was almost forced to be a part of them, right? Like through a Davy back fight. So, I mean, again, that's one of those theories where, I don't know, but I do think there's a lot of validity to that theory as well. So, you and Cube definitely are on this. Y'all might be on to something with that whole Davy back fight, right? Davy back or Rock's getting his crew through the Davy back fight. Doesn't say yeah. Or no, that's what Pee Wee said, right? Or no. Pee Wee said, I believe that as well because his home base was where the Davy back fight originated from. So yeah, so Pee Wee's another person that's part of that Davy back theory. Oh man, I didn't realize how how much y'all really believed in that. But hey, where am I? Where am I? Stan says I think the schedule was that after we got chapter 1042, there's a break. So next chapter should be a break. Well, you said after 1042, because 1042 would be next week. So if the break is after 1042, the break should be there should be a break in 2 weeks, right? That's what I would think, based off how you worded it, I guess. Desmond says Attack on Titan's ending is disappointing for me. I am glad that Oda has his plans for the ending already set. A story is only as good as its ending. Yeah, I haven't watched I haven't watched this last season. Well, I watched the first part of the final season, the one part that came out last year or the year before. I haven't watched this part yet, so I've heard some bad stuff about the ending on Attack on Titan, or no, I've heard bad stuff about the ending of Demon Slayer, I think. So I don't know about Attack on Titan, but I'm gonna still check it out, And then Q says I found it interesting how Big Mom described Zebek. Yeah, that's one of those things we got to talk about, right? First time we see a high pirate disrespect their captain. Well, all she really said was he's a scoundrel, right? Like, when if you think about it, like the Straw Hats, they say a bunch of bad stuff about Luffy, right? They call him an idiot. They be beating him up. They disrespect Luffy all the time. So, I don't think he would be the first captain to get disrespected by his crew. Pee Wee says, do you think current Luffy could beat Kid in Law? I believe he could because I think Kid is nowhere near Luffy and Law is closer than Kid, but still loses. Do I think he could? Yeah. I think it's been kind of proven that Luffy is probably like the strongest of the supernova. But I disagree with the law being closer to than kid aspect. I I think it's easier to believe that because we've seen way more of law than we've seen kid. Like Wino is really the first time we've seen anything significant from law. You know, I mean, we've seen him in Punk Hazard, but it's the first time we've really seen him, you know, fight and all that. But I feel as though Oda has more planned for kid, right? Like kids' importance, or I feels like kid's portrayal is meant to be more equal to Luffy than Law. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of how where Oda how Oda portrays kid, right? So, but I don't really know who's closer though. You know, I'm not saying I believe Kid is stronger than Law, but I'm saying I feel as though Oda kind of portrays Kid to be more important of a supernova than Law, maybe. So, I don't really know. I'm not saying that's the case because it's to me. I'm just saying it's a lot easier to say Law is the stronger one because we see a lot more of Law, right? So I don't know. But I do think Luffy is the strongest, though. You know, yeah. Especially if Luffy beats Kaido. Like if Luffy beats Kaido by himself, like at this point when it took like them both to beat Big Mom, yeah, you know, I don't think there's gonna be much debate. But even though you could argue that Kaido has been put through a lot more he's been put through a lot more than Big Mom has since Onigashima has pretty much started. So in that aspect you could argue that Luffy was just already like Kaido was already pretty much worn down a lot more than Big Mom. And he was more primed to be beaten like in a 1v1, I guess. All right, so Cube said a flashback will be an eye opener. Yeah, that Rocks flashback or the Big Mom and Kaido flashback. Yeah, that's gonna be something. And then we got Eliz in the building. My dog Eliz. He says with CP0 and Orochi being dealt with, it really does seem like this arc is getting wrapped up soon. Yeah, it does. It really do. I definitely agree with that, you know. And another thing that kind of makes me believe that it's being wrapped up is kind of what Luffy said at the end, right? How he said that it's gonna be his last Gear 4. So I think this fight is gonna be wrapping up, right? And then so Stan says so 10:42 and then we're on break. Got you. Makes sense. So next week we should be on break. However, I'm not 100% sure. So hold on. If you're saying next week we're going to be on break, next week I'm gonna just because you probably read the scan, so I get I get why you know. Next week for me, I would be getting 10:42 like the official, right? So that's why it's just how you're saying it, but you probably read the scans, so you will be getting the chapter this week and not next week. I'll be getting it like a week from now. So whatever, it's semantics. Let's talk about the chapter, man. Let's talk about this chapter, man. So okay, so let's first talk about the cover story, right? You know, it's not. Is it? I'm kind of thinking, right? Is Pudding going to pretty much help Germa escape the book, right? You know, like I thought it was funny. I thought it was a funny cover page, you know, because Pudding's kind of taking. She's standing up for Sanji, right? When Sanji can't stand up for himself, but it's like. What was I trying to say? What was it? Is Pudding gonna be the one to pretty much helped Germa escape. You know, now I kind of don't think so. You know, y'all kind of like if y'all been if y'all follow me for these past few weeks, especially since this cover story started, y'all would know that like I'm a believer. I believe that Judge, Ichiji, and Reiju will probably have to go find Sanji. Right? They have to go find Sanji and the Straw Hats, and after finding Sanji and the Straw Hats, they're pretty much going to ask for help. Right? They're going to ask the Straw Hats for help, and this will be the moment where we get that closure between Sanji and his family, because I still think that has to be resolved, right? Because we've seen how Sanji pretty much he pretty much denied his family, right? Even in Wino, he was denying his family. He didn't want to wear the raid suit unless he really had to, right? Unless he had to I mean, there was the one time where he wanted to use the raid suit to go spy on Robin and Nami in the bathhouse. But then the other times he was kind of forced to use it to escape the page one, right? To escape page one and keep his identity secret, you know. Pretty much attack page one and get out of there, you know. But last time we seen the raid suit, Sanji destroyed it, you know, and I think that was a great power up for Sanji. Like having the raid suit was a great power up for Sanji. So I think when he meets his family again, you know, they might have to give him another raid suit. They might have to rebuild his raid suit, and hopefully he will resolve his issues with his family. Like, you know, I'm not saying they're going to be cool and best friends and everything, and they're going to have like family reunions, but the issue he has, like him not being able to get over his issues with his family, you know, it hinders Sanji in many ways, right? Like, because he has this power up as the raid suit, but he just doesn't want to use it. And plus, especially when his body start evolving, he just did not want to use the raid suit no more because he was scared his body his body he was scared that he was changing and he'd be a heartless killer, right? So he destroyed the raid suit, but come to find out, it was really Queen that was doing, you know, what he thought he was doing, what Sanji thought he was doing. So yeah, I think that has to be resolved. The Vin Smokes and the Sanji issues, right? Let me try to knock out this chat real quick, so I can follow along while y'all follow along with me, because I'm like real far back in these chats. Cube said, Pee Wee, I believe Kurt Luffy is stronger. If it's a 1v1, he should win. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but Big Mom did say don't trust him. Feels more than merely disrespecting. The Rocks Pirates dynamics will surely be interesting to see. I mean, she said that, but it was kind of like don't trust that scoundrel, you know. And you gotta think about it, like, of course she's a pirate. She would probably rather Kaido trust somebody like her, right? Don't trust him, he's a scoundrel, you know. But no. You know, like, they all don't trust each other, right? Like, they all don't trust each other, you know. It's just kind of like, you know, that's how the pirate world is, you know. And she's probably just trying to like butter him up, right? I mean, and the thing about it is, with pirates, they know they can't trust each other, you know. So her saying that was just kind of like, you know, it was kind of saying something that they already pretty much, you know, already believe. Like, they, you know, his crew probably never really trust him, right? You know, so I get what you're saying, and you're right. You know, she probably didn't trust him, but, you know, I don't think none of his crew really trusted him that well, and they don't trust each other. You know. Cubes or Pee Wee Cube Pee Wee said Q, he definitely beats 1v1, but I think 2v1 he could as well, but it would be difficult. Luffy has all advanced versions of hockey and it has great battle IQ. I don't think Luffy's beating him 2v1. I don't think it. I don't think he's that much ahead of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do think he's stronger than them, but not stronger than them at a point where he's beating them 2v1. I don't believe that. You know, they're still strong, bro. They're still very strong. You know. And then Pee Wee says Kaido is an ancient zone, so his durability and stamina is greater than Big Mom's. That's true, but I mean, how much stronger? You know, you gotta understand. Big Mom is just a natural tank, right? She's even as a child, she was a natural tank. You know, and I would say she could probably endure with some of the best of zones, right? You know, she probably has better endurance than a lot of zones if we being real. You know, Big Mom. Mugiwara or Desna says I watched a video about Yakuza and I'm shocked. I don't know if its similarities were made before, but Yakuza had tattoos because in an old Japan, people in prison would get tattoos in Yakuza. I'm not sure what that has to do with the chapter, but and you said started to cover it and tattooing everyone so none would know who was in prison before. Also, the principle was to take social weak people into the group, and as a promise in the beginning, they have to drink sake with the boss. I mean, well, I don't know what this has to do with the chapter, doesn't this? But you gotta understand, Oda takes a lot of influence on like real life, right? So it's not that much of a shock that a lot of his influences are like he has a lot of influence based on how the Yakuza, right? You know, the Yakuza being a famous Japanese gang and Oda being Japanese himself, he's probably very familiar with the Yakuza, you know, how they operate. So, you know, I would see, you know, I wouldn't be shocked why he would incorporate a lot of Yakuza traditions into the story. If that's where you're getting at, because that's what I assume you're getting at. You know, I just don't know what it has to do with chapter. But then Stan says, I see Wano ending in 15 to 20 chapters, so maybe July or August of this year, I think Wano will end. I don't even want to try to guess no more, because I've been guessing forever, you know. Supposedly, well, we're in Act 4, right? We're in Act 4. You know, according to a lot of speculation, we should have Act 5. So if there's still another act, then it's like, and we're still not even out of Act 4 yet. You know, now, and this is not to say, I've never been somebody who's been sold on, or I'm not going to say sold, because I wasn't against it either. But I haven't been somebody who so ironclad on Act 5, you know. But I did somewhat believe that we would get a Act 5. And then Pee Wee says, I think Pudding will help them, and maybe Katakuri and Brulee as well. Oh, you're talking about you're talking about the cover story. Okay, so we're back on the cover story. Good. I don't know. You know, I don't think they would act against Big Mom, right? I don't think they're that rebellious. You know, they might for Luffy, but not for the Vinsmokes. You know, I don't see them acting against Big Mom to help the Vinsmokes. You know, like I could see them doing that for like the Straw Hats, but not really the Vinsmokes, right? The Vinsmokes are about to pretty much give up Sanji. You know, like they probably don't even know that the Vinsmokes are cool with Sanji now. You know, or cool with and we never really even got like anything to really set in stone that the Vin Smokes were an ally or anything. It's just they helped the Straw Hats escape. So yeah, they're allies, but I don't know if Katakuri knows about it and if Brule knows about it. So like I don't really see nobody helping the Vin Smokes, because I don't know why they would help them, I don't know why they would help them. I see why they would help the Straw Hats, but not the Vin Smokes of all people. Desmond says, "Yeah, sorry, off topic. Shame on me. It's cool. I'm not mad about it. I'm just saying I didn't know where that came from. It just came out of nowhere. Like it's like a topic that came out of nowhere, and I don't know what you was trying to insinuate by saying that, because you just brought up the Yakuza, and it's there was no like, yeah, it kind of reminds me of the tattoos on the back of the scabbards. Like you it wasn't much to work with. You didn't give me nothing to work with, man. You gotta give me something to work with when you bring up different topics, man." And then he said, "I would love to put in cutting off bad memories of Sanji so they would be friendlier to him." Hey, I mean, she could mess with their memories. That could be something. That could be something. Then Stan says, "We are in Act 3. Damn, Act 3? Oh, okay, so 3 acts. My bad. I thought we was in Act 4. God dang. So we could potentially just have 3 acts, maybe 4. Because the 4th act, if that's like the last act, that could be like everything, like after the battle, like post battle stuff, right? Like maybe we could get some Zoro backstory action or something, like maybe he could be connected with the Shimosuke, right? So we could get some backstory about his bloodline, if he is indeed a Shimosuke. Or maybe we'll see something with him going to Ryuma's grave, and I don't know. Desmond says, "Again, off topic, you need a Jolly Roger. I would love to draw you one. Do you have any ideas we could write on Discord on that further?" Yeah, Act 3. Bluff, you know more than we. As far as a Jolly Roger, I don't know. I never really thought about a Jolly Roger, but that might be a good idea. I don't have any ideas for one, at least not at the moment. That'd be something I have to think about. But I don't know. Maybe we could talk about that. And then he said, "Bluff, you know more than we." Bro, I'm not trying to say I know more than y'all. That's not how I try to come off. I'm sorry if I come off as that. I don't try to act like I'm like a know-it-all in this. I just give my perspective, my opinion. Like I know a lot of YouTubers, they act like they just have all the answers, and that's not what I try. That's not how I try to come off. But all right, so let's go into okay. The first part of the story, right? The first part of the chapter. We get that whole Momonosuke conversation with Yamato. How how first, he pretty much lets us know that he had a conversation with Zunisha, and pretty much, I guess, he didn't outright say he gave an order to Zunisha, but that's what I would think he did. Like he pretty much told Zunisha, like, look, you come to Wano around this time, right? In so many days, right? And pretty much Zunisha did, and Zunisha pretty much tells Momonosuke. I don't know if Momonosuke could hear Zunisha from where he is, but we see Zunisha pretty much kind of telling Momonosuke, look, I'm here. And we see that Zunisha's outside of Wano and said, look, I'm waiting your orders. I have come to join the fight at your side. And so, yeah. So, And this was right before Momonosuke pretty much talks about opening the borders of Wano, you know. But he also says like, look, you know, I don't know if opening the borders of Wano is even really a good idea, you know. Like it's something my dad says and he says in his journal, but like my dad wasn't a prophet, right? Like he's no prophet. He's no not someone special who you know who knows that it should be open. It's just something that my dad would say, right? That we need to open the borders of Wano, right? So, in like I think Cube says, right, it shows a little maturity for Momonosuke because he's thinking, you know, he's thinking about it from a different perspective. Like, what is really good for Wano, right? What is really good for Wano? Because I've said that Momonosuke is gonna be better than his father, right? Like we look at Momonosuke as a coward, as a scaredy, like the scared little kid. I mean, he's come on now, he's 10 years old, at least before Shinobu did that thing where she turned him 28, right? Or was it? So he's 8 years old, and I think Shinobu put like 20 years on him, I guess. Hold on, dang how. Cause I know he's like 28 right now, and I'm guessing he was 8 before, so she put like 20 years on him. So, but that whole time he was a kid, like he never really experienced life. You know, he pretty much had all this bad stuff happen to him since he was a real like since he been 8, right? He was thrown to the future. You know, he's pretty much has to lead. He has to take on this as an 8-year-old. He was looked at to take this position as a leader of a whole country. But now, you know, most people would say like, okay, Odin is you know, like Momonosuke could never be Odin. And that's true, he can't. He would never be Odin. But I believe Momonosuke's destiny is to be better than Odin. Now, when I say better, I don't mean a better fighter. Of course, Odin's going to be the stronger one. He's going to be the more badass one. But Odin wasn't a great leader. Not for Wano, at least. You know, he wasn't great for Wano. Odin was just strong and, he went out, learned about the world, which he did learn some important things, though. But when we look at who's better for Wano, the country of Wano, I think Momonosuke is definitely going to be in that position, and he is showing that as we see, right? He's not looking at opening Wano as some pipe dream or just some dream, right? He's looking at it from a standpoint like, is this even the right thing to do for Wano? Would this even be good for Wano? Now, I believe ultimately, yes, it will be, but it's still saying like he's still thinking about it. He's still thinking from a leadership perspective, like he's looking at it from it like he's just being a coward, but he's actually looking at it from a leadership perspective because he's not looking at it like some dream. He's looking at it as what makes opening the borders of Wano the right decision for the people of Wano, right? Especially we see how outside external influences can be when they enter the land and how it can damage Wano in Kaido's aspect. But taking that example, is it good to just allow anybody to come in? Because then we will be preventing people like Kaido to coming in the land of Wano, right? So it's great to see Momonosuke think more of as a leader, a leader of a country than just a man with a dream, right? And that's what you could probably consider Odin. He was a man with a dream. First, his dream was to go travel the world, which ultimately it left room open for Orochi and Kaido to pretty much take over Wano, right? And even when even when Oden was in Wano, he was doing a lot of stupid stuff. He was giving away money. You know, the Kozuki clan, like the money of the Curry, right? Curry's the money they had in Curry. He was going broke, and he was giving all that money to Orochi. It got to a point where the Scabbards had to pretty much steal money from Yasu. You know. Stan said, I just want to get out of Wano like it's a cool arc and all, but we've been here for what, 3-4 years already. Even Oda said he didn't think we would still be in Wano. I mean, I guess if that's how you feel. I mean, it's been great story, so I'm not complaining too much. But I mean, I get it though. I get it. We have been in Wano for a good bit of time. And you know, I'm kind of ready to move on to the next arc as well. But I'm at the same time, I'm not in that much of a rush. But I get why you would be a little, you know, anxious to move on, right? Desmond says, "Nah, I thought because you think of Act 4 already." Oh, I mean, I thought we was at Act 4. Like I did. I forgot what act we. It's been so long since we got the act title. And he said, yeah, same for me. Doesn't this for the fitting with my theory? There is a reason why the borders are closed, and if he opened it, the danger would still be there. So he thinks about it better to open border after the danger's gone. Yeah, I don't know your theory, but I'm just trying to think about what you said. So he thinks it'd be better to over. You talking about Odin? Odin thinks it'd be better after the danger's gone, or are you talking Momonosuke? And if he opens it, again, I have to read your theory. When I get a chance to read your theory, I'll check it out. And Cube said, Lamo, I've been saying Bluff has future sight. He predicted the arrival of Zunisha. Did I? Did I predict it? I mean, I guess I might have did because I've always believed that Zunisha was going to arrive in Wano, right? I always thought, like, and I don't even think I predicted that. I think that's something I've heard, right? You know, so I don't even know if I should get credit for predicting that. You know, it's like one of those things I think some people just believe, you know. And then Desmond says, yeah, definitely he is in the Act 4 in his head already. A better ruler. I think the next act will be the aftermath of Wano. And that could be the case. Or Pee-wee said that. I don't know. I don't know why I thought it was in Act 3 or Act 4. You know. I don't know why I thought he was in Act 4. I just thought he was for some reason. And yeah, I think he makes a better ruler, right? It's just because Momonosuke. The thing with Odin was a bit selfish. You know, Odin was more concerned with his dreams. His dreams of leaving Wano and getting and going somewhere else, you know, traveling the world. It was all about him, right? While he was going, Wano was in pretty much danger of, you know, his dad was being killed and his dad got killed and then Orochi took over. None of that would have potentially happened if Odin wasn't going, right? If Odin never left for his own selfish reasons. And I'm not saying like Odin kind of had to leave. You know, it was ultimately better that Odin did leave. Odin leaving needed to happen. It was the right thing for him because, you know, Goldie Roger probably would have never found the One Piece if Odin didn't leave, right? So it was good Odin left. But I'm just talking about when it comes to Wano, it wasn't good. It hurt Wano more than helped it, you know. Pee Wee said, I think the next act will be the aftermath of Wano. I can see that happening. I agree with that as well. I kind of thought, like, if anything, because a lot of people was talking about, like, 5 acts, right? So I thought, if anything, the 5th act or the 4th act would be the main fight, and then the 5th act would be the aftermath, or maybe even a flashback, right? Because we could still have 5 acts. The 4th act, it could be something along the line where the 3rd act ends in the middle of the Kaido and Luffy fight, like probably near the conclusion of that fight, and then we get like the 4th act could be something along the line as a flashback, a Kaido flashback, where we learn more about his time with the Rocks. Because we still need a Kaido flashback, I believe. I think we still need a flashback of Kaido. So that could be the next act, right? And then the last act, we could see Kaido get defeated, and then it could be like the aftermath, Or let's say the 3rd act ends in the middle of Kaido being defeated, right? Like it's like he's being defeated, and while he's being defeated, he's thinking about his flashback, right? He's thinking about his time during the Rocks Pirates, and then that would start Act 4, and then Act 5 could be something along the line as Kaido is put down, aftermath, something along that line. And then Desmond says the world reacts, a new era. Yeah, of course we always gotta get that that world react type thing, but that can also happen just in between arcs though, because that's what the in between arcs thing usually happens, when we get the backlash of whatever Luffy and the Straw Hats done, right? So yeah, okay. So what else did I want to bring up? Okay, let's talk about Hiyori, right? Let's talk about Hiyori. I could talk about like the Rizzo victory over Fukurokoju, but I don't think it's really much to talk about with that one. Rizzo won. The fight between him and Fukurokoju is over. It really wasn't even much of a fight, I mean, it kind of was. And it was probably more of a fight than some of the other fights that we got, right? Some of the bigger name fights we got. Because we got some fight in that, right? And a couple chapters ago, we got like them two, throwing shurikens and doing jutsus at each other. So, I mean, we did get a fight between them two. So let's talk about Arochi and Hiyori with... which one thing I noticed about the chapter, which I like, is we both see a little development, right? We both see a little development among the two Kozuki siblings, right? We see first we get Momonosuke. He's pretty much contemplating in his head like a leader, right? Like, are we even doing the right thing? Which all leaders have to think about that, right? Is what I'm doing the right thing? He could have been crying about it, right? Like, I don't want to do this, but no, he's trying to make the right decisions and stuff, and make the right actions. But so Orochi is pretty much with Hiyori, and Hiyori pretty much reveals to Orochi who she is. She says, look, that song you like so much was also the my father's favorite song. My father being Kosuke Oden. And then now he's like, oh shit, like, God, oh shoot, how can you? And I'm trapped under this rubble. So, and now I know what it really is. And she even said she was putting little nails in him, sea stone nails within Orochi, so he couldn't transform. Now, I kind of was thinking, like, did she have something to do with uh the ceiling falling on Orochi? Because it kind of seemed like that was planned, right? Either it was great timing or it was planned. You know. Now, if it was planned, how she do that? Do she got some devil fruit we don't know about, where she can, you know, maybe telekinesis, where she could like just draw the ceiling down on Orochi? Or was it time? What do y'all think? Do y'all think it was just kind of a coincidence that the ceiling fell on Orochi at that point in time? Because it seemed kind of planned to me, right? Maybe she could have had some explosives in the ceiling. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But it's I find that fascinating that you could, like these nails, right? Like, how many nails did she put in Orochi in order to prevent him from being able to transform? Does one nail work? Does it need to be a good amount of nails? How did Orochi not even realize these nails was being put into him? I mean, I'm pretty sure they must have been very thin nails to where you barely feel them if you're not paying attention. So that's an interesting. I find that interesting. Those nails and how they could prevent you from pretty much using your devil fruit ability, at least transforming for its own, right? Desmond says, "Yeah, I said that for a long time. Sea Stone is a game changer. They could have bullets, weapons. Sanji could wear boots from Sea Stone." Bruh, just imagine some Sea Stone boots for Sanji. Just imagine like Zoro had like a Sea Stone sword, right? Bruh, that'd be wild. A Sea Stone sword. Hey, there's no better time like now for Zoro to get an upgrade of a Sea Stone sword while we're in Wano, right? Like maybe let's say if talking about Zoro and his swords, right? I always kind of like to talk about this topic, but right now he has Enma, he has Hitetsu 2, I think. I want to say it's like 2, or 3. One of them he has one of the Hitetsus, and then he has the Wado Ichimonju. So those are the 3 current swords he has now. Now I personally believe he should. I know a lot of people might not agree with this, but I think he should give Enma back to Hiyori, because that's like a family heirloom, right? And then maybe he could get Shishui back. Like maybe Wano see how Zoro pretty much saved Wano, and maybe if let's say the dead do come back to Wano, if we do get spirits, maybe Ryuma and Zoro could talk, and somebody sees that, and like maybe Tengoyama Hutetsu, he sees that and he says, you know what, you should keep Shishui, right? And then maybe he takes the Hutetsu blade that Luffy had, and he takes the current Hutetsu blade that Zoro has. He wields both of them, like him being a swordsmith. He creates a sword out of both of those, laced with Sea Stone. Bruh, that could be an even better upgrade than Enma for Zoro, right? He has 2 already strong name blades, and they form to one, laced with Sea Stone. Bruh. But I'm just throwing that around. I'm throwing that around. They could have, yeah, the revenge is near. Yeah, most def. And I've been saying forever that Hiyori or Momonosuke should be the people who get the revenge on Orochi, right? Not Kaido. A lot of people was like, yeah, Kaido killed him. Nah, Kaido. The Kozuki clan needs that closure, right? And they're going to get it with Hiyori, right? But them Sea Stone boots would be wild. Sanji kicking, oh bro, it'd be wild. He'd be able to just imagine him kicking Luffy with the, god damn, bro, that'd be messed up. So Sanji with sea stone boots and Zoro with a sea stone sword. That'd be wild. I'm telling you. Uh, yeah, but it would be cool. I feel like this. Oh, where am I? Where am I in this? Let me look at the phone. Yeah, I feel like Straw Hats getting sea stone items would make them a bit OP. I mean, they're not the only. Or hold on, Pee Wee said I feel like the Straw Hats getting sea stone items would make them a bit OP. I mean, bruh, Blackbeard has 2 devil fruits, bro, possibly 3. Bruh, like, I mean, and there's Logias out here, bro. Like, there's characters that's already just super OP for just ridiculously OP. I think they'd be all right. I think they'd be all right. Desmond said, yeah, but it would be the conclusion. I mean, even Smoker had a staff with sea stone. Yeah, like they wouldn't be the first characters with sea stone weapons, right? And then Stan said she said it's 1-0 plus when Hawkins was fighting with Law at the beginning of Wano, he shot him with 1-0 and he couldn't use his power. Oh yeah, good callback. I forgot about that moment, you know. But yeah, you're right. You are completely right. You know. But I feel as though Law realized, like, he was aware of that nail, right? He was aware of that nail. You know. In this instance, Orochi was never aware of it. You know, like, you know, now maybe they were smaller nails, and if they're smaller nails, then I would think that maybe you might need more of them for them to be effective, right? Or maybe Orochi just didn't feel it, right? Maybe Orochi just didn't feel it. Stan says, oh, I already read that. Desmond says, yeah, imagine being Law and swapping the nail in the body of the devil fruit user. I don't know if the ability will work on Sea Stone though. I don't like. Would it work? Like, could he use room to almost move nails around, like, or sea stone around? I mean, I guess he could, you know, as long as he's not touching it directly, right? Desmond says, yeah, imagine being Law and swapping the nail in the body of the devil fruit user. I read that. Stan said, nah, I think he should keep Enma because Enma is a better sword than Shishui. But that's why I said I get that it's a better sword than Shishui, but that's why I say if you take both of the Hitetsu blades that we seen in Wino, right, and which are already good swords, they're already very strong swords, and you turn them into one sword, because you know you have a blacksmith or a swordsmith such as Hitetsu. And they're his blades already, right? So you take those 2 blades and you know, pretty much bond them together, make them one blade. That could potentially be a stronger sword. It could potentially be a stronger sword. And why do I look? Enma is a family blade. You know, like Hiyori pretty much gave that sword to Zoro to pretty much help free Wano. So I would think it would be better, you know, and I get it's a strong sword. I get it's a great power up. But if that's why instead of, you know, just giving him another sword, you give him a sword of equal strength. And that could be when you create a sword, right? And the reason why I like that better, because Zoro never had a sword of his own. He never had a sword that was specifically made for him. Right, every sword he had, he got from somebody else. The Wado Ichimonji, which is probably his closest sword, which is probably the sword you could probably say is mostly closely tied to him. It was still a gift it was still somebody else's sword that was gifted to him, right? So if you take the two Hitetsu blades, they could potentially be, and you turn them into one sword, they could potentially rival Enma. You know, I mean, Oda only has to write it to equal it, right? So in Shishui, now Shishui on the other hand was given to Zoro by Ryuma himself, and it was Ryuma's blade, and he was giving it to him. So, you know, and Ryuma could potentially be a descendant or an ancestor of Zoro. So that Zoro could be more linked to his lineage, where Enma could, you know, that could be kind of the sword that like it stays within the Kozuki possession, right? That was Hiyori's father's sword. So it was a gift for her, right? It was a gift meant to stay with her. So it should probably stay with her, you know. But man, it got me. We talking about swords now, y'all. God damn, I should have never brought that up. Yeah, imagine being law. Nah, what I want to see. Nah. Desmond says, what I want to see is someone forcing another to eat a second devil fruit to kill him when he's blowing up. Why you want to see that, though? Hey, man, you got a morbid mind, man. Come on, man. You just want to see people die, don't you? Pee Wee said, I think he might get his own sword. Yeah. I believe that Zoro, bro, I've been saying for the longest that Zoro needs to have a sword that was specifically, like, I believe it. Not saying it's going to happen, but I believe, or it's something that I want to see. I want to see Zoro have a sword made for him, right? Now, at this point, I kind of think that he might actually keep Enma because just based off of, I forgot who it was that said it, but they told him that, you know, he needs to make Enma a black blade. So based off of that, he probably going to keep Enma and eventually turn it into a black blade. But I personally think Enma should stay in Wano. Stan said he should swap his Hitetsu 3 with Hitetsu 2. Or he could, you know, they could turn them into one sword. You know, I don't see why that wouldn't be possible, right? You know. But if you know, Tengu Yama Hitetsu's not gonna go through all that, then I guess just swap it out, right? Desmond says, yeah, but just a little toothpick like Mihawk has with Sea Stone. I don't think it should be a toothpick. I don't think it should be like, you ain't got to copy Mihawk. Like, don't copy Mihawk. Just give him a whole new sword. What he's gonna put the little one in his mouth. That's gonna be the Pee Wee said Hiyori can't use Enma, she'll die, not even the scabbards can use it. Sneaky Noah King, shout out to Sneaky Noah King. Well, I mean, the point to give the sword back to Hiyori isn't for her to be a swordsman, though. It's her blade, it's her sword. You know, just like her father gave her the sword, even though she can't use it, she was still given the sword in the first place because it's a family sword, is what I'm saying. It's not given back for her to use it. You know, she's no swordsman. We're not giving it back for her to become a swordsman. She's just gonna have it as a heirloom that her father gave her, right? Her father being dead, you know, that's why, like with Shishui, if we come to find out that that Ryuma is Zoro's great grandparent or whatever, it's like a family heirloom being given to him, just like Enma would be a family heirloom given to Hiyori, right? It's not. I'm not saying you give it back to her to become a swordsman, though. Plus, it will replace Shishui as the sword of Wano, right? Um. da, 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 da. Cube said, "Doesn't Sea Stone blunt weapons? Doesn't Sea Stone blunt weapons?" Think Oda said that on the SBS. I mean, they make nails. Nails aren't exactly blunt weapon, like blunt. Nails are sharp. So if you could if a nail, which is a sharp little thing, can be if you could make sea stone nails, I don't see why you can't make other sharp sea stone objects. Nails are pretty sharp. They gotta be able to puncture, right? So um I think Oda said this in SBS. Hey, show it to me. You know, I could be wrong. Again, I could be wrong. I'm just saying. Pee Wee of Usopp had Sea Stone ammo that would make him a lot stronger. It would, and I think it'd be smart to give Usopp an upgrade with some Sea Stone weapons, right? You know, kind of like after Skypiea, he started using. He got those dowels, those impact dowels that we never see him use anymore for some reason. But yeah, why not? You know, give him some nails, like bro, like just all he gotta do is just get a bunch of sea stone nails, right? And then he just could just fling them things at like a bunch of devil fruit users, and then Usopp would be deadly, bro. They'd be like little bullets, or they don't even have to be nails. They could just be like little sea stone rocks, right? Little spheres, kind of like BBs, little BB or pellets, right? Uh, Sneaky Noah King says Zoro going to trade his Katetsu 3 for Katetsu 2. I mean, I already talked about that. Yes, but Zoro has trained so much to master Enma, so it would be kind of stupid to give it back. Plus, there would be story problems because why train all this time with it when you are going to give it back? I mean, that's a good point, but again, again, if you got the Hitetsu blades, which are just as strong as Enma, I mean, do you know? I mean, it's a good point though. I'm not saying, you know, like I said, you know, and I said myself, I said I don't. I think at this point, Zoro probably will keep Enma, you know, solely off of when they said when somebody told, I forgot who it was. I want to say if it was Tengu Yamahutetsu. He said, "Hey, Emma needs to be black." So you know, if we need to turn Emma to a black blade, then I guess Zoro's gonna keep it until he turns it to a black blade. You know. Da, da, da. Sneaky Noah King said, plus his teacher dad made Wado and Enma, so they are sister blades. They made a comment that's the reason why he got the hang of it faster. Um, do you think Zoro will get Shisui from the bald Elder Star? I mean, again, if I don't know, I don't know. I don't know if he'll ever get Shisui. Like, if let's say Ryuma comes back, because me and Elids have a theory that and even Joy Boy talked about this theory too. Like Joy Boy, it's not like a theory that I solely came up with. Like a couple people believe the theory, but there's a, you know, it's a section of us that believe that we will see spirits in Wano, right? Like there will be spirits that, like, especially during the Fire Festival, because the Fire Festival is pretty much it's pretty much dedicated to dead spirits. So maybe this festival could bring dead spirits, right? And if that's the case, we could see Ryuma. You know, we could get Odin, we could get Ace. You know, we might get Odin, we might get Ace, we might get some of the scabbers that died. You know, if they're dead. You know, Ashura. We don't know what happened with Ashura. Maybe he did. Izo looked like he could be dead after the end of this chapter. So maybe if there's like a moment where we see Ryuma and Zoro talking, and maybe that fox spirit. I forgot his name. I forgot what his name was, but he was the one at the bridge. Maybe he might see Ryuma and be like, "Hey, you are right. Ryuma did give you that blade, so here." I don't know. I don't know. I do not know. Mm, Nashishui, uh, Desmond says, I mean, the One Piece is in a chest in the end, but it has a lock out of sea stone and Luffy can't open it. The One Piece? I don't know, man. That's that. What are you talking about, doesn't this? What are you talking? now we at One Piece, man. I don't know, man. I don't know about it being in a treasure box of sea stone. Sneaky No King said the Shodai. I guess. Are you answering? I think you're answering Pee Wee. Cube says, I remember a question about making an entire sword with sea stone, but he said that it loses sharpness, but I'll find it and share it. Yeah, you don't have to go through that much trouble, man. I was just kind of just throwing stuff out there, man. Just having fun with theories, just going, you know what I'm saying? And then Pee Wee said Nami's weapon would be good out of sea stone as well. She could fight with a Logia. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe for somebody like Nami, I definitely think it'd be a great. Well, I don't know, not Nami, because she, especially with her Zeus upgrade, I don't know, like, bro, because Zeus is a heck of an upgrade, bro. Zeus is a heck of an upgrade. So now that she get a sea stone weapon. I mean, yeah. Hey, why not? Why not? If we giving Zoro sea stone swords and Sanji sea stone boots, why can't Nami have a sea stone climb attack? Why can't she? Desna says yeah. Stan says let's switch gears because we spent too much time on swords. Let's maybe. Bro, y'all keep bringing up the swords. I'm trying to let the whole sword thing die. That's why I said I regret even bringing up the whole sword thing. Y'all keep y'all keep talking about these swords. Y'all really was against what I said about them swords. Well, I tell you. Okay, but let's maybe talk about CP0 and the new order from Gorosei. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit. The CP0 are bigger clowns than the whole Buggy crew. It's like, why they gotta be clowns though? Why they gotta be clowns? They just doing their job. It's like your boss saying, please make everything at the same time and commanding you from A to B. I mean, bro, that's coming from the Gorosei that's telling them to do this. Pee Wee, that moment was hype. They actually acknowledge him as a great threat now, which is great to see. Sneaky Noah King said, what power-ups you see Usopp getting? Maybe hockey. Maybe Conqueror's hockey. You know? I think Usopp could be a candidate to get Conqueror's hockey. You know? Because he has very lofty dreams. Like, you gotta understand the thing with Conqueror's hockey. It usually comes from people with like king type mindsets, right? Like Zoro wants to be the best swordsman, right? That is a king in a sense. You know what I'm saying? The king of swordsmen. Like right now, you could say Mihawk is the king swordsman, right? Usopp wants to be a warrior to see, right? He wants to be a brave warrior. Now that's not like king aspect to a degree where. Just being a warrior, but he has very lofty dreams, right? He wants to be a brave warrior. That is a mindset of a king almost, right? especially for somebody like him who's not brave naturally. Somebody who's not naturally brave. But, you know, we see that Usopp has a strong will as well. You know, people call him God Usopp. I mean, come on, bro. What's a king to a god, right? So I think he might get all the different haki, right? I think he might get armament haki, and I think he might get conquerors haki. I think he might at least get conquerors haki. I don't know about armament, but at least conquerors, you know. And that could be his next upgrade, right? But you know, now we're gonna start talking about Usopp upgrade. Q said, yes, I know I am also thinking of Luffy's Devil Fruit being special. Usopp is getting Conjuro's Devil Fruit would be awesome. Yeah, that actually might be a good Devil Fruit for him to have, but I don't know if he's gonna get it. I don't know if Usopp's getting a Devil Fruit. I don't know if especially at this point, I don't see any of the Straw Hats getting any Devil Fruits to this late in the game, you know. Especially how they did so well getting so far without Devil Fruits. It's like, why get one now? Pee Wee said, I feel like we will get advanced observation at some point. I don't know. I think Usopp probably kind of already has advanced haki. Observation haki. I think like that haki he used in Dressrosa, I believe that's an advanced form of observation haki, because how many other characters have that type of observation haki, right? So I think he's pretty much awakened his advanced observation haki at the same time he did normal observation, right? Because you could say that observation he has is just as good as future sight, bro. Because I think advanced observation haki could come in different forms, right? It just depends on the user. You know, somebody like Luffy, he uses observation haki in hand-to-hand combat. So something such as seeing the future would help him in hand-to-hand combat, right? Help him avoid certain attacks or do certain attacks. With Usopp, he's not much of a hand-to-hand fighter. So his advanced form came in being able to sense people from distances, you know, be it through walls, through whatever, you know. That to me that's an awakened level, because I haven't seen anybody use observation haki in that form at all, right? You know, but when we see everybody who uses observation haki at a base form, it's usually kind of like the spider senses, right? Like you could sense something happening, so you kind of you could react to it, you know. Stan says, yeah, I think the fruit the Gorosei were talking about awakening was Luffy's fruit, because they talked about it, and in this chapter they suddenly switched their target from Robin to Luffy. Man, you jumping ahead of me, bro. You jumping ahead of me. I mean, you can. I don't care. I'm just saying. Pee Wee O'Hara made a video about Usopp having conquerors. I think for Usopp will die for him to achieve his dream. All right. So let's move on. We just talked about the whole Hiyori and Orochi, which I think this is Hiyori's pretty much opportunity to get her revenge for her father. So let's talk about the CP0 scene, right? Now, from what it looks like, that CP0 agent that was fighting Izo, him and Izo, it looked like they both pretty much killed each other. Now, I don't know if I believe that they're dead for sure, but based off of how the other CP0 agent acted, it almost seemed like he, you know, called that his partner was dead, right? And he said Izo he was trying to take us out with him, right? So there was that, and then he gets the call, right? And they're saying the 5 elders have issued an edict, right? And it was and that edict was to kill Straw Hat Luffy pretty much at once, right? At once. So not get Robin, not wait to see what happens. It's to kill the Goro. Is to kill Monkey D. Luffy. Now, why all of a sudden would they want Monkey D. Luffy? Why all of a sudden is this the most important thing for Monkey D. Luffy to be exterminated? Not the extermination of Robin, who, you know, was the first person to really kind of get the she needs to be caught or killed at once. Like, we need it moved from Robin to Luffy pretty much. Now, this part kind of changes things up for me ultimately, right? Kind of what Stan says, right? I'm starting to think, you know, like originally when we see them talk about this devil fruit that that they had to pretty much change the name of it once it awakens. This is what the Gorosei was talking about. You know, it happened at the same time we seen Zoe, right? Same time we seen Zoe. So based on how the scene happened, it's very easy to assume that the devil fruit that they were talking about was Zunisha. You know, and then it also kind of hinted it could be maybe Kaido's devil fruit. You know, I mean, I didn't think that, but you know, like I was watching Joy Boy Theories and he kind of sold me on that. Like it could be Kaido's. It could be like that devil fruit maybe has some control over like beasts, like Zunisha, right? But now, not, you know, I'm starting to think the obvious, you know, the obvious, the popular consensus of the Luffy's devil fruit, that is the devil fruit they was talking about, because now their whole tune after the last time we seen them, they was talking about the devil fruit, and then Zunisha showed up. Their tune has changed from Robin to killing Luffy, right? Why do they want Luffy dead so bad? Well, based on the chapter, they said, eliminate Straw Hat Luffy at once. What do you mean? Straw Hat is fighting Kaido right now. You want me to interfere with Kaido's battle? That's impossible. They know full well it's impossible. It's a world-class battle, which is why it's so dangerous. And they said these orders are meant to prevent the worst case scenario, you understand. Though it's a scenario we only know through rumor and hearsay. So, okay. So let's kind of break down what they said, right? They said it's a world-class battle, which is why it's so dangerous. What would make that battle so dangerous? Maybe the possibility of that battle awakening a specific devil fruit. Now, they didn't say kill Kaido. Because I would think if you was scared of the devil fruit from awakening, maybe kill Kaido, the person who actually has that devil fruit. Or the person who would have that. You would want to kill the person who has devil fruit, right? Because you would be afraid that this intense battle would awaken said devil fruit. But they want Luffy dead, not Kaido. They want Luffy dead. Maybe because Luffy has the devil fruit, right? And to go on to continue what he said these orders are meant to prevent the worst case scenario, you understand? To prevent what is the worst case scenario of this battle that needs to be prevented? What is the worst case scenario? Is it the devil fruit awakening? Is it the devil fruit awakening? You know, and it said, though it's a scenario we only know through rumor and hearsay. What worst case scenario do they only heard of through hearsay and through rumor? Is it what they was just talking about? That rumor about this mystery devil fruit that is rumored to have another awakening, that they had to change the name of it back in the day. That they haven't, this devil fruit that hasn't, that's been rumored to not have awakened for however many years it's been. I mean, I could see possibly maybe Kaido having the devil fruit, and they just don't want Luffy forcing Kaido to awaken his devil fruit. But I would probably think that they would probably want to kill Kaido instead, right? To rather kill Kaido, so since he's the one with this rumored devil fruit, I mean, in this quote unquote I can't say it, hypothetical, you know. I would think it would be they would want to kill Luffy because if you kill Luffy but Kaido's the one with the devil fruit, that devil fruit could still awaken sometime, right? But if you kill the person with the devil fruit won't awaken, right? Let me see. Where was I? Sneaky Noah King says, I'm thinking the devil fruit they're talking about is Toki's fruit because time manipulation is OP and she had it for hundreds of years. So it would be a legend to them. But the question is, why would it be Toki's? Like, Toki's not even there, right? And we don't, as we know, nobody has Toki's devil fruit. You know what I'm saying? You know, and if somebody do have Toki's devil fruit, who has it? I don't think it's Kaido. I don't think it's Kaido. Kaido had his devil fruit at that point, right? You know, is the Gumu Gumu no Mi? Is that a time? Is that Toki's devil fruit? Does she have the Gumu Gumu no Mi? You know, I don't think it's Toki's. You know, and why so much stress on killing Luffy if it's Toki's devil fruit? You know, and based on what the Gorosei said, I don't recall how long ago they said it didn't awaken, but Toki was what, like 20 some years ago. I think how they made it sound like it was like hundreds of years since it awakened, right? I don't think it's Toki's, man. I just don't, like, who has Toki's devil fruit? Like, we don't know who has Toki's devil fruit, you know, unless, like, I mean, I guess it could be Toki's devil fruit, right? It could be Toki's devil fruit that when it's awakened, you could hop into the future. But even then, it's like, why would the world government be? Well, I guess there's a reason for that. But why would they be scared that somebody would jump into the future? I mean, but the mess up their plans in the future that they don't even know about. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that's not a scary devil fruit, but I think whatever devil fruit they're talking about has to have an effect on them, like, immediately almost. So I don't know if it's Toki's. I just don't agree with it being Toki's. Desna says CP0 more like Combat Power Zero. That's another thing, man. Like, we didn't even get to see the CP0 agent's face, man. Like, how he get defeated and possibly killed and we didn't even see his face. I at least wanted to see his face, you know, and see a full-on battle. I don't know if he's, I don't even know if he's like fully, I don't know if he's dead. Like, you know, was his whole purpose coming in the story to die? Like, he was never meant anything more than for a small fight and to die. Because if not, that's kind of sad. You know, I would like to see more from CP0. Do y'all think Izo and that CP0 agent is dead? Let me know in the chat or in the comments. I think Drake is going to stop the CP0 boss since he got back up. Yeah, I kind of think, you know, Drake has to do something. You know, we need a big fight for Drake, right? And who better than the CP0 agent? You know, they're pretty strong as well, right? Desmond says, I love that they predicted it going a whole different route. They underestimated Luffy the whole time. I don't think they underestimated Luffy. I don't think they underestimated Luffy at all. I disagree with them because, like, if they did, I don't think Eam would have ever had Luffy's picture. I think they've been aware of Luffy. It's just you gotta understand his priorities, right? Is you gotta worry about other stuff. They can't always just go after Luffy all the time. There's other stuff going on in the world, right? I think now it's just Luffy's just at his most dangerous to them. But I don't think they ever underestimated him. Out of everything they've been doing, Luffy has done in the story, I think Luffy stopped being underestimated a long time ago. Since Marineford, right? I'm off. Pee Wee says, I'm off, guys. Take care. Amazing stream. Catch you in the next one. Shout out to Pee Wee. Appreciate you coming through. You have a good night over there. But yeah, you take it easy. And then Stan says, how would Toki's fruit awakening when she is dead? How would Toki's fruit awaken when she is dead? And as far as we know, no one has eaten it, and we know nothing about its whereabouts. It just doesn't add up. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying, like, maybe if, let's say, Luffy, let's say she had the Gumu Gumu no Mi this whole time. Maybe, right? Maybe. You gotta understand she does travel through time, but I don't see it being Toki's devil fruit. Like, I don't know, like we don't really even know where Toki's devil fruit at this point. So, like, especially the Gorosei doesn't know where the devil fruit is. So, unless Toki's devil fruit is a devil fruit that we currently have in current Wino, it's just known as something different in the current storyline, But yeah, I don't see it being that. They fear that Luffy could win. Yeah, we know that. Sneaky no. I'm sorry, y'all. We kind of late in the game on the stream, so we still got a few things to talk about. I'm gonna try to get through this though. Since Big Mom got defeated, they getting scared. They don't want a change in power. Luffy got too many powerful people behind him. Yeah, Big Mom's defeat probably did definitely change things, but I don't think they're scared necessarily because Big Mom got defeated, or I think they're scared because possibly that devil fruit thing, right? But they've always been aware of Luffy and always been, it's just Eam, they're just waiting on Eam to give them the word, right? Desna says, this Rasta Sea Star that we see on Sabaody Archipelago, he can speak because he thought he is a human. So what if Luffy thought it was a rubber fruit, so he just does rubber things? Well, the thing about it, if it is Luffy's thing, if it came off as like every ability has had, you would assume it's a rubber fruit because it gives you rubber abilities, right? You like if it has an awaken, like you wouldn't know that it has other abilities. Stan says it makes more sense to be Luffy's fruit because there are so many plot points leading to it being the fruit. The stuff with who's who, why Shanks stole it, why the government wanted it, it all leads to it. Yeah, that is a great point. That is definitely a great point. There has been little build-ups to it, and maybe it will awaken, right? Maybe we will see the awakening of this devil fruit, and that's how he defeats Kaido. Like maybe we get a point to where it's like Luffy gets defeated again, like, or we think Luffy's defeated, and then he forces his devil fruit to evolve or awaken. Like maybe the CP0 agent is right, like about to attack Luffy while he's busy with Kaido, and it awakens like right before he attacks him. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Desmond says, yeah, the skipping time devil fruit has very low potential. Yeah, you can skip through time. Makes only sense if you would tell things from the past. Yeah, I mean, it does have some danger to it though. Like it does have some threateningness to it though, is what I'm saying, because if like things get sticky, right, you could just skip forward to a week later and then catch the person you was fighting while they're off guard and try to kill them, right? So it's not no devil fruit to just laugh at. Anything pertaining to time ain't, you know. Then Desna says, other than that, you can't avoid anything. When you see her doing her thing, place a trap there, and she will fall into that right after. Well, you have to know when when the person is jumping forward, and you gotta know the exact moment they're jumping forward. And I'm pretty sure they're not gonna tell you. They're not gonna be, hey, bro, I'm gonna jump in 3 months from now on a Tuesday, the second week from June. So you be prepared. You know, they would have to know when you're jumping, like what time you're jumping to, or and where you're going to be jumping to, right? Desmond also said, where I see this useful is using it on other people to throw them through time. Yeah, but yeah, let's try to wrap these points up, because we get the whole CP0 thing, and then we get Kid and Law. Kid and Law. I'm gonna kind of just gloss over this because it's not a big deal. So it don't look like they're going to be interfering in Kaido and Luffy's fight. So I think we could kind of, it's at a point we could kind of count them out of the arc, at least out of the fight of Luffy and Kaido, right? Like we could count them out of this fight. So, you know, now if they do continue, if Law is still able to fight, you know, people gonna come back to this chapter, man. People were gonna come back to this chapter and it was like, hey, in chapter 1042, Law says he's out of gas, and if Kaido wins, that they're pretty much done for. How is he still fighting? So Oda better just keep Law, at least Law. You got to keep Law out of it, because Kid never said that. Kid never said he was done, but I kind of assume Kid is done. Like I don't think Kid has any more willpower left either. So I think we could count Kid out the game too. But yeah. And then we got we get Kaido crying and thinking back to his time with the rocks, right? So it was kind of a small flashback, nothing major, and you know we learned that Kaido was 15 back when he was in the rocks, and he met Big Mom at 15 years old. So we gotta age now. If somebody could tell me in the chat how old Kaido is now, I don't know how old he is now, but if we was told, I don't remember if we was told how old he was. But Kaido was definitely 15, so he was a teenager pretty much, and you know we get Big Mom. She pretty much telling Kaido like, "Hey kid, you know, do you speak? How old are you? 15. Is this your first time teaming with the Rocks?" Then she says, "Don't trust him. He's a scoundrel. You have any trouble, just tell me. I'm Linlin. And going to be so she pretty much calls Zebek a scoundrel. Now, again, like Cube kind of says like she doesn't trust him, and I'm pretty sure there is like they all kind of had a lack of trust for somebody like Zebek. But it also could be kind of said in like a playful way, like, hey, don't you go trusting him. That it's kind of hard to tell the context in text, right? So there's that. But it's dope. It's dope that we learned that Kaido was about 15 years when he became a pirate, or he was at least, or he could have been younger. He could have been 14 when he started. We don't really know. But he, at this age of him meeting the other Rock's crew, he might have been 15. He must have been 15, right? But yeah, Big Mom was definitely a lot younger, a lot more fit, a lot more slim. This was prime Big Mom. Just shows how old. It goes to show you that she has some years on Kaido, right? There was definitely an age gap with Kaido and Big Mom, though. So I think that was a dope moment. We didn't really get much from this interaction other than Kaido was 15. We seen Big Mom call Zebek a scoundrel. So there's evidence of lack of trust, and it also kind of, depending on how you take how she said it supports the theory that the Zebek pirates were mostly pirates that were won in a Davy back fight. If you subscribe to that theory, that's definitely a minor clue that they're kind of serving Zebek under their own, like against their wishes more so. So yeah, there's that. Let's see these. And okay, you said, but if she is skipping time on the rock, replace the rock with a hole, and we will fall into the hole anytime. So you're saying if depending on where you respawn, right? Like, so if I skip time a week later, I'm a no, but you would have to know how the devil fruit ability works. As the enemy, as the person who's setting this trap up, you would have to know that though she skipped time, she's going to land, like she's going to come back right here, right? Like you would have to know that, and especially how that devil fruit or how that devil fruit works. You don't. It's hard to even really understand that devil fruit because you could go significant gaps of like history of that devil fruit not being around. Like think about it. Toki skipped through time to Odin's time period, and there all those years that she skipped, that devil fruit didn't exist in the world because she didn't exist in that world because she skipped that time. She was outside of time at that point. She was skipping time, right? So you got to understand, every time people skip time, there's a good bit of time, like that time that they skip. There's a lot of people who exist that don't know anything about that devil fruit's existence, right? It's kind of hard for me to explain. Like I don't know if I'm making sense, but that devil fruit, it's like I could see that devil fruit not being a super mysterious devil fruit, because if every time somebody has that devil fruit, they're always skipping time. It never allows the world to really learn about that devil fruit, because that devil fruit doesn't always exist in the time period that it's in. if that makes sense. You know. But okay, let me use this for example. I'm gonna use this for example. Toki skipped I don't remember the amount of years, so correct me. But I'm gonna just say she skipped 1,000 years, about 1,000 years, right? She skipped 1,000 years of time, and she jumped. So she jumped from her time to 1,000 years in the future, which means that whole 1,000 years that she skipped, nobody knew the existence of that specific devil fruit. And the people who did know the existence of that devil fruit probably died. And if they passed that information on, it eventually probably came to a point where anybody who knew about it died, right? Unless Eam existed around that time and he still knows about it, then, you know, that's probably the only person that really could debunk that theory. But what I'm saying is, I don't believe that devil fruit existed in a time long enough for people to really learn about that devil fruit. If that makes sense. And then Desna says the ending though, Luffy's new gear. That wasn't a new. That was Snake Man. We got that during the Katakuri fight. But it's not a new gear. It's Gear 4 Snake Man. It's new. It's the transformation of gear. It's a Gear 4 transformation that Luffy revealed in Whole Cake Island against Katakuri. So it's not a new gear. It's not even a new transformation. Stan says, I think it leads more to being awakening rather than new gear, but who knows, maybe Gear 5 is awakening. Well, I mean, again, it's not, it wasn't a new gear. It's just it's just Snake Man, Gear 4 Snake Man transformation. Like, we got Tank Man, we got Bounce Man, and we got Snake Man. Tank Man we first got in Dressrosa. Bounce Man we first got in Dressrosa. Tank Man we got in the beginning of Whole Cake during the Cracker fight. Snake Man, which is what he's using now, is what we got during Katakuri fight. And then Desna says Awakening could be Gear 5 though. Y'all should check out Elids. Check out Elids' channel, where he talks about understanding, or where he talks about the awakening, right? Luffy's awakening. It's an interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Stan says, yeah, who knows? We just have to wait and see. Stan says, but I do think that there is a chance for Luffy being defeated again, because he did say that this will be his last Gear 4, and that he would fight until he has no strength left. We'll talk about that. So maybe he gets defeated again. Desna says, what if Toki lied and she came from the future? I think there are theories about that. You know, that's a theory I heard about before. Desna says, but he said that Gear 4 is done and he is doing even more. You missed our point. Well, I'm saying you said the ending though. I'm saying you first said the ending though, Luffy's new gear. That's what you said. So, and I'm saying, because you said the endings, and I'm saying what we seen at the end of the chapter is not Luffy's new gear. That's all I'm saying. Now, if you talking about the end of the fight, will we get awakening? I don't know. Will we get new gear? I don't know. We were talking about the potential of a new gear. We know that he is still a snake. Well, I'm just going based off of what he said when he said the ending though, Luffy's new gear. I kind of took that as he's the ending of the chapter, you know. But I get what y'all saying. But all right, so he said, this is my final Gear 4 now. I'm not stopping until I'm complete. So yeah, based off how the chapter ends, it's kind of looking like, Luffy's either going to run out of steam before before the end of this fight, which may mean he gets defeated, or he's going to beat Kaido in this Gear 4 Snake Man, right? I don't think he's going to defeat Kaido in Gear 4 Snake Man. I think that, especially since it's kind of looking like it's going to be the end of this fight with Kaido and Luffy, I think that Kaido may defeat Luffy, right? Or he may put Luffy down for a bit. And then maybe CP0 might try to make sure Luffy is dead, or maybe he might not even be there. I don't know. But since they're talking about this awakening, this mystery devil fruit, I think whatever they're talking about, I think that's after maybe Kaido gets put down, or when it's looking like Luffy's about to be defeated at least, that's when this awakening will happen, right? That's when we might actually see Luffy awaken, do this mystery awakening of this devil fruit, right? Like, kind of like what y'all saying about now I don't know if it's going to be Gear 5, but I think whatever this awakening the Gorosei is talking about, I think it's going to happen before the end of this fight. So Desna says, "Sorry, we don't want to confuse you." I mean, you kind of did. You when you said the ending, I thought you was talking about the end of the chapter. So, But yeah, so yeah, that's all I got for this chapter, though. I think, like I said, so I think we got good. I think one thing I liked about this chapter is kind of seeing both of the Kozuki siblings. Pretty much, we see both of them, right? Get a little bit of progression, right? We both see them get a little more plot progression for them too, right? We get Momonosuke, who is pretty much talking about opening up the borders of Wano, right? And we get some character progression for him, because now he's starting to think more like a leader, where it's like, I don't even know if opening the borders is a good idea, and we also see that he has Zoe right there, his thing with Zoe, and that, I guess all we're waiting on is for Zunisha to get that order from Momonosuke, and then that's when Zunisha starts to act, right? Now, I think Zunisha's job is going to be to knock down the borders of Wano, but it also could potentially get rid of the Navy that's outside of Wano right now, or the world government that's outside of Wano. So, and when it comes to Hiyori, we see her, she finally pretty much revealed herself to Orochi, that she is Odin's daughter. And this is as Orochi is trapped under this rubble, and he can't even transform because of the sea prison now. So we got some development with them. We see that the world government is finally going to try to move on Luffy for some reason, some scenario that, we don't really know of just yet, officially know of. And then we get Gear 4 Snake Man at the end of the chapter, which is always a delight to see, And Desna says, "What an awesome chapter!" Yeah, it was a great chapter. I definitely enjoyed it. And Desna also said, "Yeah, I agree. It was a nice setup chapter." Stan says, "Yeah, I agree. It was also a nice setup chapter." Yeah, it was definitely, and that's what it was, a setup chapter to pretty much set up for whatever's coming for this Luffy fight, whatever CP0 is going to do, and Hiyori and Momonosuke. But yeah, that's all I pretty much got for you guys. let me know what you guys think about this chapter in the comments, in the chat, whatever. You know what I mean? I know how y'all feel in the chat, but, you know, for anybody who's watching this a lot later, let me know what you think about this chapter in the chat. And yeah, but yeah, that's all I got. That's pretty much all I got. So, you know, it's been a good chapter, great chapter, chapter 1041, Komurasaki, and it's your boy Sean Peter Bluff got. Hey! And make sure y'all like the stream if y'all haven't already, and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications if you haven't subscribed already. And if you want to send me content, if you want to send me stuff to react to, you know, we got the best place to send it is going to be the Discord. But you can also send it to me on Instagram, on Twitter, on my Facebook page. Also, you can send it to me. You know, you could post it in the One Piece group as well. Maybe tag me in it. You know, I can't. You know, I'm starting to get a lot more videos sent my way, so I might not be able to react to every video or whatever, or everything that you guys want me to react to. You know, I'm sorry about that, but I'll try. I'll definitely try. So yeah. But all of that will be in the description. All of my social media stuff, the One Piece communities, all of that will be linked in the description. I'm gonna finish this chat and then we're gonna wrap it up. Stan says we should see the seed of the plot points of this chapter bear fruit in the next chapter. Yeah, I agree with that. Especially, I'm trying to think, you know, because I feel as though unless we get something like a flashback, but I don't know if we're getting a flashback anytime soon. Stan says it was a great stream. Have a nice one. I'm going to go. All right, Stan. Shout out to Stan. You have a good Sunday as well. Desmond says have a nice venting going, Mike. Going to bed. Good night. I would love if you would look into my theory. And he said bye, Stan. And he says Stan says see ya. Desmond says have a nice evening. Man, I'll try to get to the theory, man. I'll try to get to the theory. But yeah, anyway, shout out to everybody that joined today. Shout out to let me make sure. Shout out to Pee Wee. Shout out to Desness. Shout out to Cube. Shout out to Stan. Make sure I'm not forgetting anybody else. Shout out to Elids. Y'all go check out Elids. He makes a lot of great content. A lot of interesting theories. So y'all make sure y'all go check out Elids as well. You know, I always shout him out because he really comes from a different perspective. Also shout out to everybody else who shout out to Sneaky Noah King. I knew there was somebody else who hopped in the chat as well that I was forgetting. So yeah, shout out to you guys, yo. I appreciate y'all stopping through. But yeah, it's pretty much the stream, guys. Y'all have a good Sunday evening. Desmond says it was a great stream. Yes, it was a great stream. Thanks to you guys. Y'all definitely made it a wonderful stream, and I really appreciate having you guys in these streams. You know, so I appreciate that. But anyway, I'm out. Y'all have a good one.